friends, welcome to my channel JB's Crochet, and I thought I would continue my how-to series to get started crocheting. So we're going to take some yarn and we're going to learn how to slip knot and chain in this video, and then in the next video we will learn how to slip knot, chain, and then single crochet. So I have my ball of yarn and the yarn coming from the ball, and this is the tail, so I'm going to take the tail and lay it over my hand, and I'm going to take the working end, wrap it over my fingers, make an X, wrap it back over behind the first strand, take your hook, insert it under the first strand and over the second strand, grabbing that strand, the second strand, pulling it under and twisting your hook as you go, and then you can take the tail, not the working yarn, the tail, and pull it tight. I always pull from here too to kind of tighten it down, get it nice and tight. And then you can take this strand here is the working strand. I'm going to pull on it and slide the knot up close to the hook, and I'm going to leave just enough room that the hook head can slide through, so that I just barely can slide that through there. So I'm actually going to put my finger on the strand here, find my working yarn strand, and kind of, the tail here, and I'm going to pull just a little bit so it pulls the slip knot down away from, see how it pulls it away from the hook? But if you pull the working strand, you can pull it back up towards the hook. So I want to make sure I have just enough room that this hook head can slide easily through with no problem, and have just a little bit of extra space. Not really any extra space, because the yarn should be inside this, inside the hook there. So if it's inside the hook, you should have no problem pulling it through that loop. Alright, so then my next thing I like to do is, because I work, I'm a right-handed and I hold my working yarn in my left hand. Well, this is my tail. I like to have my working yarn on the left side. See how they kind of just naturally come out of the knot, where the tail's over here on the left and the working yarn is on the right. I like to, honestly, I know it's an extra step, but this is just how my brain works. I pull my hook out and I actually flip the loop so it's this way, and now my tail is on my right and my working strand is on the left out of the knot. And then to get started for the chain, I'm going to hold my finger on the loop on my hook. I apologize, I cannot get these words out correctly. I don't know why I do these tutorials. I just want to make sure that you guys, fully understand what my brain is thinking when I'm doing this, and I'm trying to verbalize what I'm thinking. Alright, anyway, so I hold the loop on my hook, and I take the working yarn. So the first chain is going to be a little, you just gotta get past that first chain, really. So I just yarn over my hook while holding this, so that way the knot stays down here. I take my left hand and I scoop up the yarn like that. See how I'm holding it over here? Right here. And I take my other fingers here, my thumb and ring finger and pinky, and just kind of hold the tail. And then I can release this finger, pull that loop that I have on my hook through that loop on my hook. So see how I had enough room to pull that through there. So that's my first chain. So you'll notice you have a loop on your hook, and now you have this V just below that hook, below that loop, and then you have your slip knot. If you flip it over, you'll have your first little bump back here. So to chain, you just keep repeating this same process until you get as many chains as you need. Let's just go to 20, just to you know, give you a good visual of how to chain. So like I said, I grab my tail and my slip knot right here in that first chain, just so it sits there and it doesn't get pulled. You know, you don't want it to, like, all your chains to be different sizes. So I try to keep my tension and my you know, the same as I go through. So I just basically have the working yarn between my fingers here, and I just roll I'm like taking my hook and grabbing the yarn. Sometimes you'll see me actually yarning over, and sometimes you'll see me rolling my hook and grabbing it through. So that was 2, but see, look, it was too tight. Like, I can't get that hook through there, so I got to make sure my tension is just a little looser. So to help to do that, I'm gonna do like this. Okay, now I have the loop over my finger like I want it normally. So I'm going to, like I said, pull loop. There's 3. So we roll this over. You can see we have a loop on our hook, and then we have 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm getting my working yarn's getting a little tight, so you don't want the working yarn to get too tight, so keep it loose. If you have to stop, you just hold this loop on here, pull some yarn out, and just continue going. So we were at 10, 11, see, I just go like this, 12, 13, 14, and see, it's getting too tall for me, so I gotta scooch my fingers up. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so in order for my chains not to fall out, because if you were to pull this out like this and you accidentally pull that out, you could pull a chain out and then you'd have to go back and recount. What I like to do is pull out a loop, you know, not pull out a loop, sorry, pull up a long loop, or as a good friend of mine says, make a big bunny ear, make a bunny ear. It just gives you a little, you know, a little time to, you know, catch the loop before it gets fully pulled out. So we're going to go ahead and count here. So the hook came out this way, so that was the loop on our hook. We don't count that one. Count this one here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like to put my fingers where I left off so I know where to keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And as the chain's going to be like this, so you want to kind of keep it like, you know, roll it so you can kind of see your V's. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Or see, I miscounted. All right, so this is the first one right here below the loop. So the big loop, we don't count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we have 20 chains. So if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to keep learning how to chain, this is foundation to almost every project you do. Just keep practicing yarning over and pulling up a chain. And just keep going, and you'll eventually figure out your tension and how loose to hold things, and you'll have very, you know, mostly consistent, even chains. So, all right, friends, I hope you learned something from that. Leave comments down below if you're new and this helped you, or helped refresh something. So yeah, I will see you guys on the next video, friends. Bye!